Well, hello, good morning, everyone. It's been a while since I've done a video, um, but I thought I would comment this morning on. I was on Facebook and I watched a video by Russel Brand. He's a bit out there, okay, usually, but it was on the bare minimum wage. Do you really deserve it? And he was really spot on with that video. If you haven't seen it, you might want to watch it. But you listen to this woman commentating, and I've never seen anybody so ignorant and asinine. You know, these people are just absolutely out of touch with reality. You know, that people want that. They obviously took that job. They should be grateful they have a job. After all, most of them are just part-time anyway, and so why did they take that job if they don't want a low-paying job? Well, brain dead. These people are, you take what you can get. You take what you can get. And when there are no other alternatives out there, you have to put food on the table. That's a reality. Yes, and a lot of them have to have subsistence. They have to have government programs to make ends meet. That's atrocious. They're working their asses off. And her big thing is, well, Walmart's bottom line would be affected if they have to give them a raise. Oh my God. Now, I think that the Walmart family that's got billions of dollars, I think their bottom line could be affected without any problem. Unlike people that are, they're slaving, they're working their asses off to build Walmart company, and they're in the poorhouse. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And to put it on the workers, well, obviously they took the job. Why did they bother to take the job if they don't want that low pay? Let them go elsewhere. Again, the reality is you take what you can find. And these big businesses that are not willing to pay a decent wage, and that's part of what's wrong with this company. They won't pay workers here. The minute that they had to give health care if you were working full-time, they found a way around that too. Well, we won't hire anybody full-time, only part-time workers. So they don't have to lose money on their precious bottom line. Now, the bottom line thing, I can understand it if you're a small business. And you're barely making ends meet. You're not to the profitability yet. Then okay, your bottom line, you got a big concern about it, Like now, when you're trying to build a business, it takes a while for the business to get established and to turn a profit. That's one thing. But when you've got these big corporations, they're making millions and billions of dollars, and to sit there and say, well, the bottom line will be affected, and you've got people that are in the poorhouse, what's that say about you? How can you live with yourself at night? You've got winter homes, you've got summer homes, you've got yachts, you've got planes, and you're bitching because people want to be able to just pay their bills, have food on the table. If their child gets sick, they want to be able to take them to a doctor. Oh, that's horrible. How dare they want those things? These businesses need to get a reality check. They need to get a reality check Let them try to live on the wages they're paying these people. Let them do it. Before you open your mouth and are so callous, or this woman that, that's making these comments, I challenge you. Go live 3 months in their shoes. You take that job. You work those hours. You have an employer that bitches about having to pay you minimum wage. And see what your life is. Okay? This idea that they took the job so they should be satisfied with it, again, is not the reality. If you come from money, obviously she's come from a wealthy family, or at least a middle class family. She's never had to scrape and live paycheck to paycheck and wonder how you're going to get the next meal on the table. Obviously, she's never had that experience. Once you have that experience, you'll understand a little more that people don't always take what they want. And yes, I'm sure they're grateful that they have a job. It's not that it's coming from ingratitude, but they want a living wage. That's not too much to ask, to have a living wage. Okay? Like I said, if it's a new business starting out, then yes, the bottom line's very important because you need to be able to have the business run, and you want to try to make it as good as you can for the employees, without going bankrupt. And it takes a while to establish any new business. But when you've got big corporations like Walmart, and like I said, and they're making millions and billions of dollars, their bottom line is not going to be affected by paying minimum wage, a living wage. Okay? So that's absolutely ridiculous. You get a lot of these companies, and it's always nice to see the companies where you have the CEO goes undercover and has to do the job that the employees have to do on a daily basis. And they find out very rapidly that they, 99.9% of the time, cannot do the freaking job. They gain a whole lot more respect for the people that are actually building the company. And all the hard work they put in and the sacrifice, and they're trying to do their job to the best of their ability, to give their best in many, many cases. And it's being underappreciated by those that are sitting in the offices of the CEOs that are making a fortune off the backs of those that are putting in their time and hard work to build the company. I think anybody that's going to be in a position of power in a company should actually have to be able to do the work that the workers do. How in the world can you run a company, be a CEO, and you have not even been on the line? You can't do the job. You don't understand the job. You don't understand the dynamics of it if you've never done the job yourself. It should be mandatory that any person that's at the head of a company should have to do all aspects of the job. Then they have a little more understanding about what it takes. They should have to live for at least a month, 2 months on the wages they're paying others, and find out exactly what they're asking of the people. If you're working barely minimum wage, barely putting food on the table, really, how happy of an employee do you think you're going to have? If you have the higher ups that want to make it almost impossible for you to live, they have no dedication to their employees, then how happy of an employee do you think you're going to have? And this is what's happened with this company. There is no loyalty on the part of the higher ups. Now it's all about the bottom line. It's all about the money. That's it. But the people have gotten lost in the equation. Okay? Rather than building a company like a family where everybody cares about everybody and everybody wants to see it succeed and be the best that it can be. And a lot of workers take pride in their work. They want to make it the best they can. But you know, the CEOs and stuff make it almost impossible. How can you continue to want to generate loyalty? And most people want to improve. They want to move up in their business. They want to, go from the low-lying positions. They want to eventually become a manager or move up in the field. But when CEOs of companies don't want to give the opportunity, they make it almost impossible for the workers. There needs to be a radical adjustment in the system here. Most of the manufacturing in this country's been sent overseas. Why? Again, the bottom line. Because CEOs, the owners of the company, are greedy. They're greedy. Lord knows they have way more than enough to live. If you can afford a regular house, a summer house, a yacht, Lord knows you can afford to pay more money to the workers and build a nice, reputable company, and you will have much happier workers. The work will get done better. Okay? Everybody will be happier. And that's what's, wrong with this country now. You have the top 1% with a lot of money, lots and lots, tons of money, disposable income. They throw it away on the most ridiculous things. And then you've got the middle class, which is trying to live the American dream. And then you've got, the majority, unfortunately, the majority of people that are just, barely making ends meet, trying to, just want to put food on the table and be able to have a home, someplace that's theirs, that belongs to them. That's even becoming almost impossible now to buy a house and keep a roof over your head. We want the bare minimums. Not to have to worry paycheck to paycheck, how can we make this stretch? I'm not talking about those that are living beyond their means. I'm talking about those who want to live realistically, have food, shelter, be able to go to a doctor if they need be. Just the basics. The basics. Not owning a Ferrari or Jaguar or whatever. They just want, basically a car they can get back and forth to work. They want their kids to be able to give them a Christmas or be able to give them a birthday. That's it. They want the basics of life. And when you have companies that don't want to even give workers the basics of life, and they've got way more than the funds to do so, that's heinous. That's absolutely heinous. So again, if anybody knows, in touch with any CEOs or any of these types of reporters that have this callousness, talk with them. Let them find out the reality of the life that they're keeping others within. Okay? Let them find out what it's like. They said there's no poverty here. There are a lot of children that go to bed in this country hungry. That's the reality. Okay? And these people have blinders on. They need to wake up. They need to get a clue. They need to find out what's out here. We can make this a good country again. How it was founded, what were the ideals that they put in. But, this country's gone downhill because of greed. Because of absolute greed and not honoring, the precepts of, just being able to live life, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay, we've lost that along the way. I guess those values only exist for the wealthy. Okay, and if you're not wealthy, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you're not owed that. You're owed slave wages. Okay, slavery, in case you haven't noticed, is no longer, supposed to be in this country. But it is. There are many, many types of slavery still here. Young women get kidnapped, kids get kidnapped, forced into the sex trade. There's slavery here. That's another subject. Again, the values of this country have gone right down the tubes. And I think that we need to take a hard look at things and get it back on track. It can be turned around, but it's going to take some very hard work to do so. So let's stop today and take a look and find out where we can make it better. So I'll leave it there. Again, you maybe watch the one with Russel Brand. Bare minimum wage. Do you deserve it? The Russel Brand and the Trews. Instead of the news, it's the Trews. Again, like I said, Russel Brand's a little out there many times, but on this one, it was very well done, and something that a lot of people should watch and take into consideration. So have a wonderful day. Namaste. Bye, everyone.